Life is a journey filled with highs and lows. But what if there was something more to the obstacles we face? What if the challenges in our lives, from financial struggles to emotional turmoil, weren't just a matter of bad luck or coincidence? What if the environment around us, particularly the objects we possess, hold more influence than we realize? The idea that certain items in our homes or spaces can block our wealth, happiness, and health might seem like a myth or superstition. But many ancient cultures and spiritual traditions strongly believe that the objects we keep can shape our destinies in unseen ways. This video explores the fascinating and sometimes unsettling idea that there are specific objects, some of which are eerily ordinary, that have the power to block our path to prosperity and success. These aren't just physical items, but things imbued with negative energy, whether through dark rituals, ancient curses, or even the accumulation of bad vibes over time, from something as seemingly insignificant as an old piece of cloth to the remnants of animal bones. These objects may be influencing your life in ways you've never even considered. As you read on, you'll discover the stories behind 5 powerful items that, according to mystics, shamans, and spiritual practitioners, could be secretly sabotaging your fortune, health, and happiness. I know this sounds like something straight out of a supernatural thriller. But when I first heard about the hidden dangers lurking in everyday objects, I couldn't help but be intrigued. It raised so many questions. Could something as simple as a forgotten item in your attic really have the power to change the course of your life? Could a small artifact you've kept from a past trip be the cause of all your current struggles? And how could we ever tell if something we're holding onto has the potential to drain our energy and block our success? The concept of energy, both positive and negative, has been central to many different cultures for centuries. In some traditions, it is believed that everything around us, the walls, the objects, even the air, has its own energy. This energy can either help us thrive, making us feel peaceful, motivated, and happy, or it can cause us to feel anxious, drained, and stuck. What's even more fascinating is the idea that negative energy can accumulate in certain objects over time, especially if they've been subjected to dark practices or have simply been exposed to bad memories, emotions, or events. This negative energy can quietly influence our lives without us even realizing it. But what exactly are these objects? And how can we recognize them before they cause more harm? One of the most startling things I've learned in my exploration of this topic is that the objects most likely to block our wealth and health are not the ones you might expect. They aren't always large, glaring items that you can easily spot and throw away. Instead, they tend to be everyday objects that we overlook or simply don't think much about. It's easy to dismiss an old piece of fabric or a forgotten trinket. But if these items have been used for purposes other than their intended use, whether in dark magic, curses, or negative rituals, they can become vessels for negative energy. That's right. Your favorite old pillow, the rusty nail you found on the ground, or even a small, ancient piece of jewelry could be holding onto bad vibes and blocking your success. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the idea of bad luck. It's something we all talk about when things aren't going our way. But have you ever stopped to consider where that bad luck is coming from? It could be much more than a mere coincidence or a stroke of misfortune. In fact, it might be a direct result of objects in your life that have been unknowingly carrying negative energy for years. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt uneasy, anxious, or uncomfortable? Or maybe you've experienced moments where, no matter how hard you try, everything just seems to go wrong. Your business fails. Your relationships suffer. Your health declines. You might have chalked it up to bad luck or misfortune. But what if it's more than that? Over the years, many spiritual traditions, from ancient Chinese feng shui to Native American practices, have emphasized the importance of surrounding yourself with positive energy and removing negative influences from your life. Feng shui, for example, teaches that objects, furniture, and even the way we organize our spaces can significantly affect the flow of energy. Or, kai, in our homes. Negative objects or clutter can disrupt this flow, leading to stagnation in various areas of life, including finances, health, and relationships. By keeping our environments clean and free from certain items, we can open ourselves up to more positive energy and better opportunities. But it's not just about cleaning up your space or throwing out items that no longer serve you. It's also about being aware of the hidden influences that might be lingering in your surroundings. Those seemingly innocuous objects that may have been unknowingly introduced into your life. Have you ever kept an old trinket, a piece of clothing, or a keepsake that you inherited or found in a strange place? If that item holds negative energy, it could be contributing to a cascade of misfortune in your life. The idea that objects carry energy isn't just a belief. It's a powerful principle that many people around the world rely on for guidance and healing. As strange as it may sound, these objects have the potential to block our financial growth, disrupt our relationships, and even hinder our physical well-being. The good news is, once we recognize what they are and understand how they work, we can begin to cleanse our environments and regain control over our lives. This video delves deep into the hidden world of objects that are said to block wealth and happiness. And more importantly, how you can remove these items from your life to make room for new opportunities, health, and prosperity. It's important to note that not all objects have this power. Some might be just simple objects you've grown attached to, while others might have a much darker history. The key lies in recognizing when an item carries negative energy or has been used in a harmful way. But how can we differentiate between the two? In this video, we will take a closer look at 5 objects that are said to be notorious for blocking prosperity. And we'll also discuss how you can protect yourself from their negative influence. So, if you're ready to learn about the hidden dangers of everyday objects and how they could be affecting your life, join me as we uncover the 5 objects that are believed to block your wealth, happiness, and health. You might be surprised by what you find, and even more surprised by what you may need to throw out of your life. Engaging start. There's a strange power in objects we don't fully understand. It may sound like folklore or superstition to some, but ancient beliefs from around the world suggest that certain items, hidden or unnoticed, can trap negative energy in your life, blocking wealth and health. Whether we believe in these forces or not, the idea of energy in our spaces has been discussed for centuries in various cultures. Imagine being in a place that feels heavy and suffocating. No matter how hard you try to make things better, could something as simple as a forgotten object be the cause? Object 1. Animal bones. One of the most disturbing objects associated with blocking wealth and happiness is the cursed animal bone. While it may seem absurd to think that something so ordinary could have any significance, bones are often used in dark rituals. According to ancient beliefs, bones are remnants of life that can hold energy, good or bad. When cursed, they can cause setbacks in your life, from financial problems to sudden health issues. I remember a story of a family who moved into a house where everything went wrong. Their business failed, their health deteriorated, and their relationships were strained. It wasn't until they dug up their backyard and discovered animal bones buried under the ground that the pieces of their misfortune fell into place. Removing and properly disposing of these bones helped them regain control of their lives. This powerful example shows how crucial it is to be aware of what might be buried right beneath you. Personal opinion. For me, this idea resonates with how we need to be cautious about the energy we allow into our lives. Whether it's through people, places, or even objects, many of us unknowingly invite negativity by holding on to things that bring us discomfort. I don't think it's all about superstition. It's about being mindful of the environment around us and the energy it gives off. Object 2. Graveyard soil. The next object, graveyard soil, is considered even more dangerous than animal bones. The energy in graveyard soil, especially if it's taken from the grave of someone who died under tragic circumstances, can spread misfortune and block prosperity. There's a story of a woman who couldn't understand why her life was spiraling downward. After visiting a spiritual healer, she learned that graveyard soil had been secretly placed under her doorsteps. The negative energy from the grave led to family fights, health issues, and even financial ruin. Once the soil was removed and the space cleansed, her luck began to shift. Personal insight. The concept of graveyard soil as a negative energy source truly opened my eyes to the idea that not all things we encounter are benign. We often think of a home or a place as neutral, but every object or item has its own history and energy. Whether it's something passed down or purchased secondhand, we should always be mindful of what we're inviting into our spaces. Object 3. Broken glass or rusty nails. We've all heard about the danger of stepping on broken glass or nails. But what if these objects also carried harmful spiritual energy? Broken glass and rusty nails, when used in malicious rituals, can cause prolonged suffering and hardship. In the case of a family that discovered these objects hidden around their home, they were shocked to find that their once peaceful household had become full of tension, financial instability, and health issues. The negative energy these objects emitted wore them down slowly, wearing down their resolve and pushing them into despair. Personal reflection. I think this serves as a good reminder of the impact of seemingly harmless things on our well-being. It's not just the physical objects themselves, but the energy they carry. This concept can apply to all areas of our lives. Small, unnoticed things can accumulate and have a significant impact over time. Object 4. Cursed mori cloth. Mori cloth, often used in spiritual or burial rituals, can carry negative energy if cursed. This cloth is known for blocking financial success and spreading stagnation and despair. The story of a couple whose business continuously failed despite their hard work is a prime example. When they discovered mori cloth hidden in their home, they realized the curse was the cause of their misfortune. Once they destroyed it and cleansed their home, things started to improve. Personal perspective. Sometimes, the most powerful forces are not always physical. Energy is real, and we often don't realize how deeply the emotional and spiritual atmosphere around us can affect our lives. I've personally experienced moments when my surroundings, whether it was clutter, a heavy atmosphere, or even certain people, dragged me down without me realizing it. Cleansing my space has always had a positive effect on my mental state. Object 5. Cursed hair knots. A seemingly simple object like a knot of hair can hold power if used in dark spells. The idea of being bound by an invisible force, feeling drained and controlled, might seem fantastical, but many who have experienced it say it's all too real. A family in distress discovered that a knot of hair hidden in their walls was the source of their constant fatigue and lack of progress. Once removed, they felt a significant change, as if a weight had been lifted from their lives. Conclusion. As we conclude our exploration into the world of objects that can block wealth, happiness, and health, we are left with a powerful understanding. The environment around us plays a significant role in shaping our experiences. Both consciously and unconsciously, the objects we keep in our homes, offices, and spaces are not merely physical items, they are carriers of energy. And whether that energy is positive or negative, it can have profound effects on our lives. Throughout this journey, we've learned that certain everyday items, some of which we might have overlooked or taken for granted, can carry with them harmful energy that hinders our prosperity, well-being, and overall happiness. Whether these objects have been exposed to negative emotions, past traumas, or even dark rituals, they possess the ability to create a barrier between us and the life we desire. But the good news is that awareness is the first step toward transformation. Once we recognize the potential dangers that certain items pose, we gain the power to reclaim our lives and remove those obstacles. The future holds limitless potential for those who are willing to make space for positive energy. By simply acknowledging and cleansing our environments of items that no longer serve us or carry negative energy, we open the doors to new possibilities, better health, greater wealth, and more fulfilling relationships. It's important to remember that true abundance is not only about material possessions. It's about cultivating an environment that supports your personal growth and aligns with your values and intentions. As you move forward, I encourage you to take a closer look at your surroundings. Reflect on the items you keep and the energy they may be carrying with them. Be mindful of what you choose to bring into your life. And just as importantly, be willing to let go of what no longer serves you. Remember, it's not about discarding everything, but about making conscious decisions that align with your highest good. This is not a one-time process but a continuous journey of self-awareness and cleansing. Your environment, like your mind and heart, requires periodic decluttering to ensure that only positive and nurturing energy remains. The practice of maintaining a harmonious space is an act of self-love and self-respect. And it's a fundamental part of living a life that is in alignment with your true desires. We at Buddhist Wisdom believe that true wisdom comes from understanding the deeper connections between our outer and inner worlds. By embracing the teachings of mindfulness and compassion, we can learn to create spaces that foster peace, abundance, and growth. It's time to open our minds to the possibility that the world around us is more interconnected than we've ever imagined. By cleansing our environments of negative influences, we make room for new opportunities to flourish. If you found this video helpful and insightful, don't forget to subscribe to Buddhist Wisdom for more spiritual guidance and wisdom that can help transform your life. Join our community as we continue to explore the paths to mindfulness, inner peace, and prosperity. Together, we can cultivate a life filled with positive energy, growth, and abundance. Take the first step today. Your future is waiting. And it begins with the choices you make right now.